one of the last muckrakers that I'm going to deal with is Jacob Riis. Now Jacob Riis kind of took this muckraking point of view from a different angle. How he dealt with it is he did a lot of photography. Okay, what he wanted to show, not just talk about, but he wanted to show the conditions of the everyday lower class person. Alright, so he took a lot of pictures of poor houses, slums, streets, soup kitchens. We're dealing with the actual day in and day out conditions of the typical lower class American, and he wanted to show just how terrible those conditions were, because there were a few at the top of the pyramid that were living high. They were living strong, they had all this money, they didn't care about everybody else, and Jacob Riis wanted to show that while they had all of that, way down at the bottom there are these people who don't have anything, and they're working so hard to make that money, which ends up going right to the top. So he took pictures of all these different conditions, and what we're going to see is we're going to have working standards, we're going to eventually be setting up minimum wages so that the man working in a factory or a power plant or a meat packing plant, they've got to make a certain amount of money so that they can get by, that their daily life isn't overwhelming. And we're also going to see the conditions of the factory themselves improve. We can't have any more fires in factories. We can't have any more children dying while they're working because of machinery. Alright, there's going to be safety standards at these factories, and people are eventually going to realize that in order for the economy to succeed and for everybody to progress fairly through the progressive era, there needs to be this standard expectation for everyone to get by. Alright? A lot of the other big names, we're dealing with Ida Tarbell getting with Standard Oil, Ray Stannard Baker did The Right to Work, alright? And David Graham Phillips wrote The Treason of the Senate. Okay, this is muckraking dealing with policies of the government. Okay, maybe we're going to get into some ideas about the vote, direct election. Okay, we have a lot of issues that come to light because of muckrakers. They go, they find the problem, they bring it to light, and eventually when everybody knows about it, it's going to find its way up to the top. And if enough complaining happens, people are going to take action and things are going to change. One thing we need to realize, though, is that the great part about muckraking is nowadays it's standard. It's not even a big deal. Muckraking is everyday journalism. You can't go a day without somebody exposing someone or something else going on in the world. Sometimes right in our own city, sometimes our state, sometimes the country. But muckraking is this idea of making sure that we keep an eye out for things going on that are either unfair to others or that we need to finally expose. A good example of what's been going on recently in muckraking, just in the past decade, we had Al Gore. He did An Inconvenient Truth. He's trying to bring to light this theory of global warming. So, what I want you guys to think about is, why was muckraking important? What was going on in the United States that led up to the progressive era? Okay? How did muckraking enact in the progressive era? What was the point of the people that were muckraking? Alright? They were bringing up these issues. We need to think about what was important. Making sure that progress occurred for everybody, not just the people at the top. But we need to make sure that we are bringing people up from the bottom as well. We are raising the standard expectation of living, alright, and the quality of life for everybody in the United States of America. So just think about all the different things that still happen today with muckraking. Think about the different reforms that occurred with politics, with the Food and Drug Administration, with the homeless, with the people working in plants, the safety conditions at the plants. And just think about all the different ways that the people who were really fighting for it at the bottom, eventually they had such an effect that it made its way up to the top, and President Teddy Roosevelt himself took action. We're going to have a lot of things happening, and finally the top is getting their hands dirty and taking action, fixing those things that had to do with the muck. I'll catch you guys next time.